What is up everyone, it is me DevilNeverCry and we are back with another Crisis Core reunion video. Today we'll be going over how to max out Aerith's affection in chapter 4, netting you the good match for Aerith trophy and achievement amongst a few others that we'll be tackling in this video. So without further ado, let's dive right in. This sequence kicks off in chapter 4 immediately after Bruno steals your wallet and you attempt to pursue. It's up to us to figure out where he went and how we're gonna get our wallet back, and there's a few choices we can make here which will improve Aerith's affection towards Zack. It should be noted that you'll need 5 potions for this to work. If you don't have 5 potions, I suggest you sell some items from the in-menu shop and purchase the amount that you need. And if you've played the original Crisis Core, this will seem very familiar. Firstly, you'll want to talk to the 3 shopkeepers: the Materia shopkeeper, the accessory shopkeeper, and the item shopkeeper. It doesn't matter which order you speak to these 3 shops, it also doesn't matter whether or not you skip the cutscenes, you just have to ensure that you speak to all 3 shops. After speaking to all 3 shopkeepers, go and talk to the girl standing in the corner of the market. She'll tell you that she's going to go look for Bruno and that you should simply just wait, which is exactly what we're going to do. Every time we're prompted to wait, we're going to wait. Eventually, Zack's going to get annoyed and he's going to run off and see what the issue is. Again, it doesn't matter if you skip any of the cutscenes, just make sure you wait every time you're prompted. Once that's done, we're going to go and speak to the boy standing on the other corner of the market. He's going to tell you that he'll let you know exactly where Bruno is, as long as you trade him a potion, which is where they come into play. After handing over all 5 and going through the same spiel 5 times, Zack's going to realize he's been had and walk away. Again, feel free to skip the cutscenes, but after that whole ordeal is over and done with, you're going to want to go and talk to Aerith. To absolutely no one's surprise, Aerith is no help whatsoever. So, we're going to go and run around the market a few times until eventually a cutscene kicks in. Lo and behold, Bruno comes sulking back after realizing that Zack's wallet is basically empty. The most important thing about this cutscene, however, is that after it ends you're going to be given a choice, and it's important that you choose the option that allows Zack to offer to pay for the medicine. This is the better of the 2 choices when it comes to the hidden affection points that are working in the background. Of course, we end up paying for absolutely nothing, as Soldier doesn't pay well, even if you are first class. So, we're going to head on over to near where the playground was, and we're going to tackle some enemies. After getting Bruno's wallet back for him, we're going to traverse back to where they are in the market. After that cutscene's over and done with, there's going to be a little bit more legwork we need to do to max out Aerith's affection. The first of which is heading over to the item shop where we're going to blend our own perfume. Getting the perfect blend is going to net us the most amount of affection points, so it's imperative that you get this correct. One tip I can give you is that you can pause between drips to help you count in your own time. Of course, it's also worth mentioning that by doing this correctly, you'll also get the Master Blender trophy and achievement. After putting together the most sweet, saccharine, overpowering perfume known to man that is so strong even Aerith almost falls asleep inhaling it, we're going to head on over to the Materia shopkeeper. He's just so happened to drop his materia everywhere, talk about a health and safety issue, and it's up to us to collect them all. In the example I'm showing here, I actually end up getting a godlike rating, as I've managed to collect all of the materia in around 13 or so seconds. If you're able to emulate what I'm doing here successfully, this will also net you the godlike trophy and achievement. You'll know you've done it right because they'll literally tell you you're godlike, and you'll gain 100 gil. The game doesn't tell you of course, but the faster you're able to collect all of the materia, the more affection points you'll get. To ensure that you gain enough affection points, I suggest you repeat this quick minigame at least 5 more times. You don't have to get the godlike rating every time you repeat the minigame, but ensure you do it as fast as possible. This will give you a nice healthy buffer of affection points if for some reason you manage to absolutely botch the perfume. Once you're done fondling the shopkeeper's materia, it's time to head on over to the boy standing in the corner of the market so we can play his guessing game. This isn't much of a minigame at all, in fact it's pretty redundant if you think of it as one, but it does net you more affection points. So what we're going to do here is we're going to listen to what Aerith predicts. The reason this works is because Aerith is somewhat clairvoyant, which means that at least one of the options that she gives you will always be the right answer. And if your affection with Aerith is high enough, she'll only give you 2 options to pick from, essentially making it a 50-50 chance of getting it right. Pretty much a coin toss. If your affection with Aerith is low, she'll give you more options to pick from, as for some reason her clairvoyancy depends entirely on how much she likes you. Strange. To add to this and make things easier, you can also pay to see the boy's prediction. And if there is an overlap between the boys' prediction and Aerith's prediction, it pretty much means that that soul number they both give is going to be the right answer. Of course, you don't have to pay to see anybody's prediction at all. You can choose to believe in the heart of the cards and guess on your own, as it doesn't really matter if you get it right the first time or the 10th time, just as long as you get it right at least once. And then finally, after successfully completing all of the minigames in this area, you're going to want to head over to the accessory shopkeeper, where a cutscene will play out in which Zack will buy Aerith's signature bow. Then after the slew of cutscenes is finally over and you're back in control of Zack, you're going to want to head on over to the market where your mission objective lies. As you attempt to exit the area through the hole in the wall, you'll eventually be stopped by Bruno, who comes to give you a few parting words. He apologizes for stealing your wallet, gives you the steal materia, telling you not to steal from anybody himself. Little does he know we'll be putting it to good use regardless. And then if everything has finally gone right for you, Bruno should then say that you and Aerith make a good match, netting you the good match for Aerith trophy or achievement. As I've mentioned previously in this video, if you've already played the original Crisis Core, this will all seem familiar to you, as this works almost exactly the same way, albeit we don't know if the affection point metrics behind the scenes are exactly the same, as they may have changed things around slightly. What I can say, however, is that I've tested the method described in this video 3 times, and all 3 times it's worked for me. I've also tested acing each of the minigames just once, and it seems that that method doesn't give you enough affection points, which is why I recommend that you redo the Materia minigame multiple times to essentially push you over the edge. It's also worth mentioning that just like the original Crisis Core, this entire sequence is missable, just like a lot of the other optional sequences and minigames in Crisis Core Reunion. So if for whatever reason you fumble this strategy, you better hope you have a save file somewhere in this area, otherwise you'll likely have to replay the whole game again and get to this sequence before you're able to give it another go. It's one of the core tenets that carried over from the original Crisis Core that I really wish they would have modernized and done away with. There aren't many tips I can give you for the materia collecting minigame, it simply is just a case of learning the pattern and zigzagging quite sharply. Once you've done it a few times and you know exactly where the materia are, it can be quite easy to blitz through without having to think much of it. Just like the game's tooltip tells you, 1 drip equates to 1, 2 drips consecutively equates to 2, and a splash equates to a 10. So provided you take things slow with the pause method, it can be quite easy to get the perfect ratio. And with that, we wrap up the guide for obtaining maximum affection and the good match for Aerith trophy. Let me know your thoughts on this section down in the comments below, and if this guide helped you, be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing so you don't miss out on the upcoming Crisis Core Reunion content. With all that said and done, it has been me, DevilNeverCry. I'd like to thank all of you for watching, and as always, I'll see you all next video.